way down to Miami Valley. So for those of you maybe haven't been following what went on the last 24 hours, drove to Miami Valley. Actually left the night before because there was supposed to be freezing rain, and there was in Ontario. Left the night before, stayed in Findlay, Ohio. Then drove to Miami Valley. Got up the next day, took our time. As I said, drove to Miami Valley. Raced, had a great day yesterday. Fantastic day yesterday. 2 wins, third and a fourth out of the 4 horses we raced. A good day last night for sure. But I wanted to go with the horses today. Now, a number of things going on today. It's not just about going fast or getting the horse. I wanted to get a look at some horses. Stonebridge Dolce was one of them. I think we're going to probably list her for sale in the next week or so. Her qualifier wasn't horrible. 2-3, it was a cold day. I could see her trotting in 58, 59 in the next couple of months, but that's not even a sire stake. That's not even grassroots horse. So, given her breeding, she is pretty well bred. Given her breeding and everything going on, it just makes more sense to offer her up for sale right now. So we probably will. I do have to confer with Stonebridge Farms, who still owns a piece of this filly. So she was so-so. She got around. She's qualified. Then I went with a Moradiner. Now, you guys have to understand, he wore hobbles his whole life, but we trained him back without them. Training, racing, qualifying are not the same thing, right? Switching gears in a race setting, even a qualifying setting sometimes, is not as easy as you'd think it would be. So I'm torn. I could see where a Moradiner made the mistakes. There are places where the hobbles would probably catch him and help him. I like him without them. But do I like him enough just to leave them off of him? I mean, my thinking simple, he's got a stake race coming up at the Meadows. We could put them back on him. We could put these hobbles back on him, race them, and then take them off whenever we want. Or we could requalify him without them. I'm torn. I don't really know what to do. I'll go over that in my mind and figure out what we're going to do. I wasn't really worried about the breaks today. I was happy with the speed and the way he did it. 2-1. And it was a pretty windy day, too. It was a good mile for him. Now, in the next qualifier, the teletimer didn't work. I knew we were going along. I didn't really know who Keith Cash had. It looked like an aged horse. It ended up being, what did you say, 10-year-old or 12-year-old? 12-year-old mark of 150. They went 55 or 56. But as I said, the teletimer wasn't working. Procrastinator did his work well again. Shot up the inside late. And I was second. I pulled up and I said, a little flat. You know, the track was a little deep. It was a little windy. He was touching his knee a little bit. He was good. But I didn't know he went 56 at the time. I'm thinking 57 and a piece again, 58. But it ended up being 55 and 4. He paced 56 flat. A big mile for him. I think his stake race, that Iron Maiden series for Pacers, I think it comes up 2 weeks, I believe, which is good. Give him time to really get his legs underneath himself. There may be a little virus going through the burn with some of those horses. LD's Patrick scoped a little bit sick yesterday. What did he send? What pictures did he send? LD's Patrick scoped a little bit sick yesterday. Levitor scoped a little bit sick after his race on Sunday. I haven't heard back from Mike yet about how Procrastinator scoped. I suspect a tiny bit of mucus in there. But again, 2 weeks till his first start. Lots of time to get him cleaned up. And aside from those first starts, long year for this colt. I am so impressed with what I've seen from him. He's really turned into a professional racehorse. And then I schooled Gemstone Ruby Rose. Now, many of you haven't really been following this either. These are the 3 horses that we had got from the lady in Ohio. Teresa Maddox had sent us these 3 horses. The 2 Pacers aren't going to be ready for a few weeks. And actually, quite frankly, I may school Gemstone Ruby's. This horse never saw the gate in her life. Went right up to the gate, put her nose right on the gate, trotted right out of there like an aged horse. I don't think she saw it. Maybe I'm wrong and misspeaking. But man, she did it professionally today. 1 mile and 2-2, which was a decent mile. I think I'll back her up to 2-3 next week, and then we'll come forward with a qualifier 2 minutes, I think, after that. But I was happy with her. Very impressed with her today. She did well. So, 3 qualifiers in a schooler. Went okay today. I know a lot of people, maybe my partners out there in the Moradine are like, you run. Relax. It's not really a big deal at all. I can put the hobbles on them. There are some changes to make. I'm going to make a few little changes with his shoeing this week. Change his equipment a tiny bit, and then we'll go back at it next week. But I'm not worried about a Moradiner. He's trained down great. I am going to have a couple of quiet moments to try and quantify what I want to do and how it looked. How do we need to put those hobbles back on him? What did his workload look like today? Can it be improved with hobbles, or do we just got to be a little more patient with him for the time being? I don't know yet, but I'll know soon enough. And as I said, Procrastinator was fantastic, and Dolce was Dolce. So that's what we got today. I'm going to get here 39 minutes, Steve, before Kings County's race today. Looking for a good mile from him. We got a lot going on. There's a lot. That's a loaded race today. The race is rather meaningless. I mean, I'd like to win. I want to get the purse money. But a lot going on with Kings County, and I want to get a real good idea with him of what it is. Now, I know that Jason had talked to Brett Miller about potentially taking Kings County after this race. If everything goes well and we're happy with the way the equipment looks and the way he's trotting, I was going to ask Brett Miller if he wanted to take Kings County, just because his race days are not on the same as ours. We don't mind coming down here for Wednesday, right? I'll drive the 6.5 hours. Steve already said he's going to come next week too, I think. We're going to drive down and then go to Northfield, qualify again next week, train horse up. I don't have a problem doing that. But the coming back down and then the 6 hours back to Ontario for one horse, not sure that's necessary. We'll see what takes place next week. So again, lots of racing coming up, whether it be today. We got Massive Profit tonight in Ontario. And then we have, do we have anything Friday? I don't think we do. There's nothing here. I don't think we're racing Friday. I'm not positive, but I don't think so. Saturday we are. 5 in Saturday, and obviously the new horse, Sailor, man, he got in tough. We're just looking at horses that, you know, how much they're worth, and, you know, like Durf Hanover, I think, I tell you, 52,000 or something like that. Something like that they sold him for the other day, and he beat, when Aguilera made a break, that's the horse that won. A very tough field of horses for him. So we'll see. We'll see. This is unorthodox, even for me. You know, the horse isn't going to arrive until tomorrow night, Friday sometime maybe, and to race on Saturday. I guess if we were shipping in for a stake race, it wouldn't be that different, but a little unorthodox. I know that Mr. Huckabone trained him this morning, actually had a video of training, so he must know what we're all about, because he had sent me a video of the horse actually training today. He said he was going to take good care of him, clean that foot up, and train him up for us. He did. So in that regard, the horse will be ready. We'll draw his blood on Saturday just to make sure he didn't have any cramping up while he was shipping to Ontario. If there's green lights on the dashboard, if the horse's blood looks good and he seems like he's in good spirits, he's sound in that little foot, the foot that he had the little abscess in, then we'll go on Saturday night into a tough bunch. Patrick the Piranha and Bolt Power, I'm going to drive them. Judas McDonald picked off both of those. Actually, I didn't understand why he was off of Bolt Power so quickly. He owns. James owns the other horse. I don't know his name. Flying. Doesn't matter. And then Patrick the Piranha, he has Line Drive Hanover in there, so I'll drive him this week. So that's where we're at right now. Lots going on. Today was a pretty good success, although Storm Dolce may not have been good. It was a very telling qualifier, and now we can put her up for sale. So this is why it was important to be here today. It wasn't that I was coming for any special reason other than I wanted to see with my own eyes what was going on with these horses. So wish us good luck today. We'll need it. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Take care.